Okay, let's try this one more time, shall we? Hello, YouTube. I am on my floor. So I have tried to make this video a couple times already, and I kept getting overwhelmed and tripping over my words, so I went back and I refined my research a little bit, and I have my laptop right here with my handy-dandy bullet points so that I don't get quite as lost. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this. At the time of filming this, I believe I have exactly 20 subscribers, and I believe that I know all of them personally. However, I have wanted to talk about this for a while, and even though I have a relatively small platform, I still have a platform, and I still felt like it was important to talk about this. So here we go. At the time of filming this, it is currently the end of March, which means we are fast approaching April 2nd, which is World Autism Awareness Day. Now, I realize there might be some of you watching this going, well, why do you care, or what gives you the right to talk about this? So, for anyone who doesn't know, hi, my name is Bridget, and I am autistic. I got my diagnosis when I was 13, but I didn't really start to talk about it until I was a senior in high school. Now, I have learned to be very proud of it, and I wear autism like a badge of honor. And I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I don't think I'm broken. I just think I'm a little different, and I think it's kind of cool. I did not assume that this was going to be my third ever video uploaded to YouTube. This was something that I knew I wanted to talk about eventually, but I thought it would come a little bit farther down the road. While I am proud of my autism, and it's a part of myself that I feel really confident sharing with people, it's not what this channel was meant to be about. I created this channel because currently I'm an actor who can't really work in my field. So I started this channel as a creative outlet, and I'm still going to use it for that. That's still going to be the main focus of this channel. This is a topic that I feel very strongly about, and as an autistic person, I feel like I need to talk about it. So I want to talk about World Autism Day, Autism Speaks, and the Light It Up Blue campaign. So even though I am autistic myself, and I know how I want to be advocated for, and even though I have known about this subject for a very long time and know quite a bit about it, I still did a lot of research for this because I just wanted to make sure I covered all my bases. With that being said, all of the sources that I used for this video will be cited in the description with links, and I will also post links to a couple videos. There is a YouTube creator, they go by the name of the iiluminaughtii on YouTube. They made 2 videos about Autism Speaks, so if you want a more comprehensive overview of the organization I'm going to be talking about in this video, I highly recommend watching those videos. They are very well done. Alright, let's get on with the video. I realize this has already been a very long introduction, I apologize. So, I want to talk to you today about why you should not participate in the Light It Up Blue campaign. World Autism Day was started by the United Nations in 2007 and was heavily pushed for by the group Autism Speaks. The first thing you need to know about Autism Speaks is they are heavily disliked among the autistic community. And when it comes right down to it, that is the most important opinion that matters. I am going to steal from the videos that I referenced earlier and just say that if autistic people don't support your autistic organization, you are probably doing something wrong. For a very long time, there were absolutely no autistic people sitting on the board of directors for Autism Speaks. And currently, out of the 26 members, only 2 of them are actually autistic. For a period of time, Autism Speaks did buy into the vaccines cause autism propaganda. Not only has this been proven to be false, but as an autistic person myself, I'd like to just say it's a whole lot better than being dead. Just saying. Autism Speaks claims to be an advocate for people on the spectrum, but more often than not, they advocate for the families of autistic people. In other words, they advocate for the people who have to deal with us. They continue to claim to be looking for a cure for autism and insist that it can be cured. In reality, it can't. And myself and everyone I know of on the spectrum, we don't want to be cured. By far, one of the most horrifying things about Autism Speaks was when it vouched support for an institution that used electroshock therapy as a behavior-modifying technique on autistic children. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because that's not the point of this video, and also it's a really intense subject. But the YouTuber who I mentioned before did an entire video on that institution. It's linked down in the description if you want to check it out, though I do warn you, it deals with very intense subject matter. Another thing that isn't really that bad, but myself and a lot of other autistic people find really annoying, is that Autism Speaks insists on using person-first language. Now, if you don't know what that is, basically what that means is that they insist that instead of saying an autistic person, you need to say a person with autism. To me, that kind of feels like you're labeling it as a disease. I don't think of it as a disease. It's a thing I am, not a thing I have, and I'm perfectly okay with it. And don't get me wrong, if a fellow autistic person told me that they prefer using person-first language for themselves, I would absolutely comply with it. Personally, for myself and for several other autistic people I've met, we don't care for this kind of language. So, let's talk about Light It Up Blue and why it doesn't help autistic people at all. Light It Up Blue is a campaign created by Autism Speaks in which people are encouraged to wear blue, post a blue puzzle piece, light up your house in blue lights. Doesn't matter, just blue everywhere. Let's start with the color for autism being blue. The reason the color for autism is blue is because, I kid you not, for the longest time, autism was thought to be a boy's disease. Which it's not. Girls just don't get diagnosed as often as boys do because our symptoms are not the same. I have also heard other people say that it's the color of sadness and suffering, and a lot of autistic families are given to believe that that's what they should feel for having an autistic child. I also want to talk a little bit about the puzzle piece you see on World Autism Awareness Day. The reason a puzzle piece was initially chosen for autism is because it was a puzzling condition. It was also thought to represent how autistic children didn't fit in with the rest of society. The autism puzzle and the puzzle piece itself were not symbols created by autistic people. They were 100% created by neurotypical people. If you want a better symbol to help show your support for the autistic community, or if you're autistic yourself, I highly encourage looking at the rainbow infinity sign, as this was actually created by autistic people. But really, when it comes right down to it, the biggest reason not to light it up blue or post a puzzle piece or anything like that is because autistic people don't want it. We don't want it. I have not met a single other person who supports Autism Speaks. And I myself, as an autistic person, do not support them. Throughout their entire existence, they really have done more to hurt the autistic community than help us. And wearing blue or posting a puzzle piece doesn't show support for us, it shows support for them. Now here's the thing, I have heard a lot of people on the spectrum say, we don't need a World Autism Day. People know we exist. And on a certain level, I'm kind of inclined to agree. However, I am also of the opinion that if we have this day, we should use it to speak up for us. So because of that, I have a list of some things you can do instead of Light It Up Blue. One of the biggest pushbacks against the Light It Up Blue campaign has been the Red Instead campaign. This is where instead of people wearing blue, they wear red. Some people who choose to do this are autistic themselves and do it as a way to be seen. Other people who do this show that they are willing to listen to the autistic community rather than the people who try to speak for the autistic community. And everybody who does Red Instead does it as a great big middle finger to Autism Speaks. Now, I will admit I was a little skeptical of Red Instead because I wasn't sure that it was actually started by autistic people. I had the idea of wearing either lavender or lilac, as that's halfway between blue and pink on the color wheel, and could be used to represent that autism isn't defined to just one sex or one gender. However, I did some research into Red Instead, and while I still can't say definitively whether or not it was created by someone who is actually autistic, a lot of autistic people seem to really like it. They seem to find power in this color that instead of representing sorrow or misery, represents fire and passion. And the more I read about it, the more I was really starting to like it. So yeah, after doing a good amount of research, I can say that I, as an autistic person, really like Red Instead. I myself will be wearing red, and I might be getting my roommate to wear red. What do you think, Talon?
What day is this for?
April 2nd?
Sure.
Cool! That's my roommate. The other thing you can do on April 2nd is nothing. I know how that sounds, hear me out. You don't have to do anything on World Autism Awareness Day. While a lot of autistic people do use this day as an opportunity to make their voices heard, and a lot of neurotypical people use it as an opportunity to show their support for the autistic community, when it comes right down to it, this was a day created by neurotypical people. If you are autistic and you don't like this day, that is fine. If you are neurotypical and you don't care about this day, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. But please, please don't light it up blue. I know that something that is really prevalent right now that a lot of people in minorities hate is virtue signaling. And I completely get it, and I completely agree. So honestly, I would say that if you're neurotypical and you want to wear red, don't do it because you're standing with the autistic community. Do it as a great big screw you to Autism Speaks, because that is the best way to show that you can support us. But honestly, whether you want to do something or nothing on this day, that is absolutely fine. The best way that you can show your support for the autistic community is to listen to autistic people. Have a conversation. Figure out how their brains work. Figure out how they're different from other autistic people you know. Honest to God, we don't want to be praised. We don't want to be coddled. We just want to be understood. And if you actually take time to talk to us and learn how we think and we function, that is the best support you can give. But anyways, I'm just going to say it one more time before I sign off here. Whatever you choose to do or not do on April 2nd, please, please, please do not light it up blue and do not post a puzzle piece. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you whenever I post again. Thanks so much. Bye.